Hello, and greetings from the planet Game Over. Cast. Stuff. Wait.
What?
Podcasting.
What?
Yeah.
Are we on?
That's us.
Hi!
Hi!
Hi! What are we doing? Where?
A show.
Who are you? Sorry about that. I was a little sleepy. Welcome to episode 29 of Game Over Cast. I am your host, Matt. She is your host, Britt.
Hello. I feel like a zombie. I'm like Night of the Living Brit. Really, I have had no sleep.
Oh, no.
It
How
has
long
been
have you
like...
been waiting for that?
Oh, man.
That's terrible. Well done. Well done, sir, indeed. All right, so on this wonderful episode of Game Overcast, it's going to be our E3 show, as
Yay!
is the thing now.
Yes, it's like a tradition.
Coming out June 1st, or...
Is it?
Well, the show should be coming out June 1st. E3 is the weekend.
Okay, I was like, E3's June 1st?
No, E3 is the following week.
Okay.
So people can listen to this and have see how wrong we
Yeah.
are or how right we are. Or
Also,
whatever.
disclaimer, I have no idea what has been announced. Like,
Well, it's
ahead
on
of time.
Here. It's on here.
I have not read anything. I have not looked into anything.
So what you're saying is you're woefully ill-prepared.
No, I want to be 100% surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also just unprepared for the show then.
Well, no,
Because I have
mean,
notes here on things that have been announced already,
sure.
and you were supposed to have read this.
Well, some of this I do.
So you're telling me you didn't read this. And you wonder why I make you work on these with me, because you don't check them
mean-
otherwise.
I glanced
You're a terrible
at it.
co-host.
I'm just saying, like, so my opinion, so if I say something and they're like, geez, Brittany, that was really dumb, like, duh. I have not read anything. I'm just doing
Well,
it.
also, this is obviously recorded early. So, for example, Fallout 76 was just announced today. So we have no idea what it is. So if it's announced before E3, just whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever. Let's get into this.
Yeah.
Let's go into some now playing. Britt, you go ahead and knock it out first, just because you're probably woefully ill prepared and don't know what you've been playing.
Now playing?
Yeah.
Man, what have I been playing? Actually, I don't think I've really been playing anything.
You've been playing God of War.
Well, I'm still playing God of War, but I haven't had time. I can tell you what I really want to play.
What?
I have not had any time because I've just been so busy.
Sorry about that microphone.
I've been so swamped with like stuff and work and art and stuff.
Laziness.
Shows. No, I have lack of sleep. It's real.
Laziness.
But I really want to play Detroit, like so bad. I've been waiting for that game forever, and it's like it's right in front of me, and I can't play it yet.
I really don't want to play it. I just want to watch someone else play it because it's just a bunch of QuickTime events, and I hate QuickTime events. But I'm willing to watch someone else play it and enjoy the story.
I think it fits that game because there's so many different choices and there's so many different endings. So it makes sense for it to be like, hurry, you have to decide quickly.
Yeah, everything by Quantic Dream, I think, is just the logical progression of the choose-your-own-adventure novels they used to do, except with QuickTime events, which I hate. But I'm very, very into the story, obviously, because of the robots and the Blade Runner-esque thing. So I'm going to watch you play it.
I get it, but I feel like it works really well with that type of game.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
So,
I just don't like QuickTime stuff.
Get over it.
So I'll watch you play it and watch you probably screw up and freak out and reload your save 1,000 times because you're not good at like quick things. So yeah.
So accurate.
But yeah, you have been.
But I have been playing God of War, but I haven't really had a lot of time to put into God of War because I've just been working towards different shows and stuff. So, but I really want to finish God of War, and then I really want to start Detroit. Like so bad.
So I've had a lot of time on my hands the past week or two. For horrible reasons.
Sorry.
So I'm in the process of trying to do away with some kidney stones right now. And anyone out there who's had kidney stones knows the fun I'm having right now. It's a lot of fun just to be sitting in this chair. I'll tell you that much. But so I've been playing a lot of games that you can just kind of zone out on and not really have to concentrate on very much because I've been lots of like not sleeping and staying up and stuff like that. So I've been playing a whole bunch of the Warmind came out, the expansion for Destiny 2 just happened to come out. And I bought the season pass thing, so I just had it. So I've been playing that, and it's not really all that good. Like Destiny 2 is a weird beast. it's the actual gameplay is really good, and it's amazing to play with your friends, and it's just super, kind of not simple, but once again, you can easily kind of like zone out and kill aliens and blow crap up and not worry about it too much. But myself and quite a few other people are very, very invested and interested in the lore behind Destiny 2. I mean, you can get really deep into that if you want to. Seemingly a lot more so than Bungie is, as far as like the story and the characters and the way things all kind of tie together. Because Destiny 2 at launch had a pretty cool story. And then the Curse of Osiris came out. And then I don't think we talked about this a whole lot either, but that brought, a lot of cool possibilities where Osiris was this awesome guardian, was super powerful, mega mysterious, was kind of exiled, either like self-imposed or whatever, exiled from the tower and went off to go do his own thing and was kind of like this weird, like pariah kind of thing. And you finally get to meet him for the first time in the history of Destiny, and you see him for like 10 seconds in a cutscene, and it doesn't really tell you anything. It feels kind of wasted. And then Warmind comes out, and Warmind has not one but 3 of these amazing bits of lore here, where Warmind has this awesome guardian called Anna Bray, which I won't go into too much detail, but she's just awesome. Like, she's just super, super cool, mega powerful, like epic, like Superman kind of thing. And then she does absolutely nothing. Like, she's just worthless. I actually hate her character so much because she's just annoying and she does nothing. And then you have one of these god worms, where if you've played Destiny at all, the Hive, this race of like evil alien bug monsters, they're ruled by these evil alien space worms. So
Sounds horrifying.
Think like Tremors or Beetlejuice, but with Satan. Pretty much is the way I would describe it. Like the sand, like they're just big worm god demon things. Kind of like this Cthulhu-esque. It's a worm, guys. Okay, it's a really big worm. But pretty much some of the most powerful bad things in Destiny's universe, right? And it's just
excuse me.
Exactly. It's just squandered, where it's there, you kill it in a boss fight. It's a really easy boss fight. You don't just like beat up and scare it away. You kill it. You like incinerate it. It's done. It's over. It's wasted. And to make it even worse, and here's the robot part, where the namesake of the expansion with Warmind is you actually wake up Rasputin, this awesome thing called a Warmind, and it's been around since Destiny 1. And are you okay? Do we need to take a break?
Oh gosh, I need a cough drop.
Good Lord.
No, I'm fine.
And since Destiny 1, there was this thing, these things called Warminds, or one specifically, I guess, which are these ancient, like, pre-Destiny AIs built to protect the Earth or the solar system. And then they were shut down or forcibly shut down or whatever. I don't need to go that much into it. And then you wake him up, and it's supposed to be really, really cool. And nothing happens. And you play, like, this 2-hour campaign, which is also really bad. And it's just like, man, I'm sad. So, great Destiny gameplay, whatever.
Sorry.
You sure you're good here?
Yeah.
Because we can take like a break if you're gonna die. I mean, I can replace you with a plushie or something.
Oh man.
So I've been playing that, and I've been playing a lot of F-Zero X, the X Cup, just because it's random tracks and other stuff, and just things I can kind of tune out with, and it's nice. But yeah, that's me.
Sorry, I'm getting over being sick, so yeah.
Okay. You sure? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So we'll drop in a news here, and then we'll move on real quick. The only news bit I have here is the Atari VCS, or the Atari box, right? But to be honest here with you, it's a piece of crap. So
why is that? So I have no idea what this thing is. Mm-hmm. I just saw it. I read an article, and I was like, that sounds cool.
So the Atari VCS, which we still don't know a whole lot about, went up for pre-order on Indiegogo the other day for $300.
That's a lot.
And what it is, so it's a kind of underpowered streaming box with a bunch of retro Atari games on it, which is cool, I guess. It comes with like a remodeled joystick, so with the joystick and the red button. Then it comes with a newfangled controller on it. And apparently it's going to have like downloadable games and
That's what I was going to ask. Is it actually preloaded?
Yeah, they're preloaded with like an Atari Vault, and then it doesn't actually have a disk drive or anything or cartridges. Everything is just downloadable only. So stop me if you've heard this before, but
so you can't play the cartridges.
No, of course not. No. But
For $300, you can't play the cartridge?
Tell me if this sounds familiar, okay? So it's a Linux-based operating system that you can do whatever you want with, and they're going to have their own store supported by awesome indie developers, and it's going to be fantastic. All these amazing games.
Oh, I know this one.
What's it sound like to you, Britt?
It sounds like the Ouya.
And that, you guys remember how that was a huge success?
Oh, no. Yeah, but to be fair.
And wasn't $300?
To be fair, it already has 2 million pre-orders. 2 mil. That's a lot.
Which to me means one of two things, or maybe both. One, I am incredibly out of touch, which I'm willing to admit.
You are.
Or two, people will buy anything. And that's as polite as I can say that. And I want to say it a lot less. I don't know. There's just a market. What I think is going to be hilarious is if like 1.9 million of those people are guys that are going to try to resell it for $400.
Oh no, that would be awful.
The same people who bought like a bunch of Nintendo Minis and drove that price through the roof.
Yeah.
And then nobody wants it.
And they're still up there.
Yeah.
I mean, people still ask for those, and it's difficult to find. Like, you can't find those anywhere.
I just feel like I'm missing something here with this. Like, I don't get it, because it's the wood panel version is $300. There's the non-wood panel, the black or onyx version for $229, which is great, which means you're paying, what is that math? $70 for a wood panel.
$70 for nostalgia.
Crap better be mahogany, man. And it's got the Atari retro games, which is fine, but it kind of comes back to if I want those games, I'll play them, or you could, I hate to say the E word, or you could just emulate them. I mean,
no, don't say that.
I mean, that's what you're doing here.
Monster.
It's literally what you're just paying. You're just paying them for ROMs, but whatever. And then that's kind of all we know. And then you're going to be able to like stream stuff and put your own things on it. And then Atari has been quoted here saying that they have joined forces with a leading industry partner, industry partner to be announced shortly, with a shared mission to hit the microphone. Shared mission to provide exciting and diverse games and other entertainment content for the Atari VCS. What does that mean? Who is this industry? Like, people are paying for this and they have no idea what it is. And perhaps I'm just more of a penny pitching individual, but I'm not sold on this at all.
And sub-based, huh? There's a sub.
Oh, yeah. They've also confirmed there will be a subscription service.
That's interesting.
So Atari Live.
I mean, if done correctly, I mean, the Ouya was a really great idea, and it could have been ahead of its time, to be fair.
It was also a piece of crap,
And
though.
so now, I think it's backed by a huge name, Atari.
Yes.
I think they have the power. The name is there. The reputation is there. I think they have the money and the manpower to make this good. And then with 2 million pre-orders, obviously there's interest. So if they don't mess it up, it could be really cool.
That being said, do you actually think it's going to be good? Yes or no?
I will try it.
That's not an answer.
I don't see...
Do you think it's actually going to do well?
It's hard to say.
Have support?
I think it has the potential to do well.
Yes.
And if they actually have good stuff on it,
I think you're just far too optimistic to admit that you
yeah.
think it's going to be a flop.
No, not necessarily. I mean, does 2 million pre-orders seem like it's going to be a flop? No.
No, but I mean,
it all rests in the hands of Atari and this industry developer or whoever they're working with.
I'm just saying, given the history of Linux-based
Leader, whatever.
streaming box devices, because you also have Valve, a much wealthier, much more well-known name, who did the Steam box, and that just died. That crashed and burned.
I mean, not necessarily. Because
No, Steam box has definitely crashed and burned. They don't make them anymore.
No, I mean, I agree with that. But I think Atari has a broader audience than Valve does.
Than Steam? I would disagree so strongly with that. They have their nostalgia card, but
that's what I'm saying.
But
there are so
Steam
many
has
other
one
people.
Of the, I'm not sure if it is, but one of the largest player bases in the history of gaming.
I mean, I talk to older individuals all the time that still don't know what Steam is, as crazy as that sounds.
But that's fine. I mean,
and so I feel like they have those people as well as the gaming community. So they have the older gamers that don't necessarily keep up with games now, or with Steam or whatever, but they do have, you get what I mean?
I get it.
So they have those people and the gamers.
I can't see it being a lasting thing. I see people buying it for nostalgia's sake, and it's gonna sit there and it's gonna collect dust.
But man, that is really brave. $300 is really brave.
It's real pricey.
Because the SNES Classic and the NES Classic were...
Well, it's significantly more beefy than that. It's a mid to low range computer, is what it is. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe if they actually announce some cool stuff, like a really cool exclusive Pitfall remake or something, I don't know.
But I mean, they have to start somewhere. So obviously the interest is there. So I think it could be cool as long as they don't mess it up.
Correct. Me being the negative person, I get the feeling they're going to mess it up. But I'd love to be proven wrong, but we'll see. All right, let us move on. Unless you need to, do you need to like...
I'm good.
You good? You all right? Coffee.
I hate it. Oh, yeah. Gosh darn it.
Move on to our question of the month.
Oh, man, I was looking at this one.
I mentioned this last month, and I'm definitely going to do it. I was so happy. So what are a game or games that have made you just rage, just absolute, just frothing at the mouth, pulling your hair out, setting the dog on fire?
Man.
If you can't think of one for yourself, I can think of two.
For me?
You. For you, yes. But
I'm so curious.
I will go first.
Yes,
because I
please.
have two for myself.
Go.
So the first one goes way back to a much smaller, still grouchy little Matt playing his Sega Genesis. And that game is Street Fighter 2.
Oh, God. I love that game.
I love that game too. But playing it as a little one, I don't know what it was, but because back when games had manuals, especially Street Fighter, it had like all the moves lists. So I was playing something like, okay, I've got Guile figured out and Bison and Blanca, because you just have to hold back and forward, and it's kind of like, it works great. I could not, like my poor little thumb could not do a Hadoken. I tried until my thumb would bleed. I couldn't this down to like forward thing, and like I couldn't do it. I could not do it, and I would be so mad because I only had one controller, so I couldn't do versus. So I had to play against the AI, and I would just get creamed. And for some reason, the first character was always Ryu. So I'm playing like as Ken or Ryu or anybody else with one of those button combinations, trying to do this thing, and he's just doing them nonstop, and I would just scream at the TV like just incoherent gibberish and just like stomp my little feet and be so mad. And long story short, the system was taken away from me for a little while.
Oh no!
I always say I have amazing parents. We're very, very good at teaching me things. And my first game was RoboCop versus Terminator, a very, very gory game for its time period, and even now.
The game's not that bad.
But I mean, for what it was back then, it was really bad. And then you had a code to like add an extra gore, and it's still pretty juicy for what it is. But I had really good parents who were very specific in saying, "Hey, this game is not real. It's a game. If you start doing stupid crap, it goes away." So the one time I raged really hard at Street Fighter, it went away for a while, and I was in all kinds of trouble. I was like, yeah, maybe I should calm down. I'm getting angry at a game. That's not good. So there was that. And now, of course, I'm much better at it, but don't worry. The other one is one of those games, and I know there's a few games out there that have made me throw a controller. Not many, but the only one that comes to mind is Shadow of the Colossus.
Really?
Which is funny because I love that game so much. But you were there when I did it.
I don't remember that.
It was the last one.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
Like, I had almost no trouble with just about any of the Colossi. Like I went through, it wasn't quick, but I figured it out and didn't get really mad. And that last one, where you like be like shooting beams and your horse just died, so I'm already upset because my horse is dead. Yeah. He's not actually dead, spoilers, but you think he's dead at that point. And you have to fight this thing, and there's like sad music, and there's this gigantic guy like shooting ray guns at you. So you have to like run through the trenches. So I already died like 4 or 5 times just figuring out the timing for that. And you have to climb up him and then like hop from like hand to hand. And for some reason, I was having an issue where the camera would like get behind and I couldn't see, and my stamina would go down. I would keep falling off of his hand, like transferring between hands. I would either miss the jump or lose my stamina or fall off. And I just got so mad, I just threw the controller and I was just like, oh! I love this game, but I hate you. And it was horrible. You don't remember that?
No.
You were there.
I don't.
You were just like, calm down. I was like, I don't want to calm down.
I don't remember.
I wanted to die. And I finally beat him. I felt so accomplished. I think it was just like just sweating and yelling. The nerdiest thing I think I've done in a long time. So just so triumphant that I beat a video game. But yeah, that made me mad.
Man, I'm struggling because I know that there are some, but I can't think of any. I was almost gonna say any fighting game that I play with you because it's so frustrating.
That is true. That
except
is not.
Except Street Fighter 2 because I'm amazing.
You shut your mouth. You're cheap.
Amazing.
There's a difference. You're a cheapo.
I'm amazing.
Cheapo. Button masher. So you just get it all out.
I'm so sorry.
So
or Super Smash Brothers? No, because in those
I like
games,
how you make that distinction: fighting games or Smash Brothers. That's gonna piss people off.
I'm so sorry.
And it's true.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is a fighting game.
It's whatever. Anyways, moving along. We don't need that discussion.
But
anyways.
you expect to kind of in that game a little bit.
You expect it.
Have you noticed, like, when we played Cuphead?
Yes.
You were the one that was getting angry, not necessarily me,
because you kept dying.
I knew I was gonna suck at it, so I was just like. I went into the game like, I love Cuphead. It's amazing. It's an amazing game. But I went in knowing I was going to suck. And when you do that, it makes everything so much better.
I cannot recall a game that has been easier to play by myself. Like co-op is always like, cool, you have an extra gun. It's easier. And we would play stuff and just for an hour, and then you would give up and walk away.
But let me tell you.
I would win.
If that game wasn't so beautifully done... and it wasn't so beautiful, I would have dropped that game so fast.
So that's not it. So I'm thinking you may not even agree with this because you may not remember this. So do you remember you're playing this one game, maybe you remember it called Corpse Party on on my Vita, no less. Yes. It's all coming back to you now?
Yeah, okay.
See,
that's fair.
You block this stuff out.
That's fair.
So why don't you fill us in, Brittany, on what happened?
I don't even remember what was going. Okay, Corpse Party, another fantastic game. If you have a Vita or a 3DS, go get it because it's fantastic.
Or a PC because it's on PC also.
Is it?
Yes, it's on Steam.
Oh man, I kind of want it.
I think you have like the remastered version of it though.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. It's the same game. Go on.
Steam. Anyway,
good game.
It's fantastic. It's a really good game. It's one of my favorite horror games ever. Right next to Fatal Frame. I absolutely adore Fatal Frame 2. Best game, just play it. But it's very similar in you don't really defeat the enemies, you just run away from them. Mm-hmm. So like in Fatal Frame, you have to take pictures of the ghosts and you have to take fatal frames. And that's how you like exorcise them, whatever.
Put them on that treadmill.
So, yeah. So in Corpse Party... it's the same way. You can't fight them. You have to run away from them. And you have to hide in like these
So kind of like
things.
Alien Isolation.
Kind of. You have to hide in like these cabinets or whatever.
But with the undead.
But they're smart. And their range, it's freaking crazy. Like I swear, like I feel like they're right on you. It's fantastic. But it is frustrating. So if they see you though, like go into the cabinet, you're not safe. Mm-hmm. There will be like a tiny cutscene where you see an eyeball, and then they're like, ooh, and then they pull you out and they eat you or whatever. And so the only way, like you find different items throughout the levels, and there are talismans. And if you have a talisman, if one happens to be following you, if it gets close to you and it touches you or whatever, you don't die and you don't get hurt. The talisman just makes it go away. But they are so hard to find. Like, I feel like I personally, I mean, you may disagree. You can let me know. But I personally feel like the talismans are so few and far between. So once you have one and then you have no choice. So if there's like a really easy ghost that you know you can get away from, it will use the talisman anyway. You don't really get a choice if you get to use the talisman on which ghost or whatever. So that's a little frustrating, but it is a fantastic game. But yes, I remember there was one part I could not get away from this specific ghost, and it was so frustrating.
So from my perspective, I just recall
driving back from Austin. right?
No, I remember because you came over because you couldn't find your charger or something because you were using my Vita.
Maybe.
And I was doing something else. I was playing something on whatever.
I thought it was in the car.
I just recall you doing something where you had my beautiful white original Vita that cannot be replaced now. And you kept like picking it up and like swinging it down like you wanted to break it across your knee. And you were getting closer and closer to doing it. Like, could you not break my Vita, maybe please? And you were just like, shut up. I'm like, okay, sorry. But
the heat of the moment.
That's one. You want to know two?
That I agree with that one. That one's fair.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Fatal Frame 2, actually.
Was it that one?
Because I do recall a certain someone
I feel like it
being
wasn't.
really pissy that she couldn't kill the last boss.
Yes. Oh my god. I remember.
Yep. It's one of those cases where I just hear you screaming like, what is wrong with you?
So frustrated. Okay. Story time with Fatal Frame 2, which is also a fantastic
We've
game.
already kind of covered what you have to
My
do. You have to take
fave.
pictures of people and get them in Fatal Frames.
So it's
Good.
that type of. So you are this girl, and you get lost in like if you've never played Fatal Frame 2,
Looking
please
for your
find it.
twin sister.
Game Over might have it on their website. I don't know. It's fantastic though. So Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly, super amazing. But you and
Isn't that a band? Oh, that was Iron Butterfly. Sorry.
So you and your sister get lost. There's like this village that appears every like so many years. I don't know if it's like 50 years or a century or I don't know. I may be making that up, but it appears it's like a ghost village, and it's like haunted or whatever. And so you lose your sister, and you are on this quest through this haunted village to find your sister. And so that's how you kill the ghosts. You don't really kill them. You can run away from them, but you get the spirit camera. I forgot what they called it. But you take fatal frames of them, and that's how you
snap.
And that's how you no. And that's how you exercise them, and then eventually get rid of them.
So this
at least
guy,
you have a way in
you
Fatal
can
Frame
kill
to get
him
rid
in
of
this
them.
one,
Yeah. In Corpse Party, there's no way you
just run.
You just run.
So tell me about this guy.
Okay.
And why he was so tough.
So in Fatal Frame 2, spoilers, it's like a 20-year-old game. So get over it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Get over it, bro. Just
No, but at the end of there are two separate endings for Fatal Frame.
and they both suck, just for the record. But that game doesn't have a happy ending. It has a bad ending and a worse one, in my opinion.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like, okay, once again, spoilers. Ending number 1, you get away and your twin sister dies. And in
Yeah.
2, you both die together.
But at
Yay!
least you go back in to save her, and you're like, we're gonna do this, and then
Happy games.
But at least you're together, and you went back. You did the noble thing, right? Okay, so I beat the whole game. Beautiful game. Can't stress that enough. Beat the whole game. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to do both endings. So I'm going to do this ending where you leave your sister. It's so sad. And then I'm going to go back and restart my file and do the other ending, the better ending where you go and save her and you guys die together. So there is this one ghost that pops up like twice. And I want to say you deal with that type of ghost one time in the middle of the game, and then you deal with it at the end, where you basically just run away. If he touches you once, you are dead. It doesn't matter how much health you have. If he touches you once, you're gone. So in the first time you encounter this type of ghost, you just run through this like little hallway or whatever. There's no way to fatal frame him. You just run, and eventually he stops following you if you make it to a certain point. However, in the ending, you encounter that same type of ghost. And what's really frustrating is before, and it doesn't matter how much health you have, but it's still kind of annoying. You have to run through this cave to get to the point to meet that ghost, like the final boss, I guess you could call it. And different ghosts are touching you and so your health is going down, but there's no way to really avoid them. It's inevitable your health is going to go low. So it's already frustrating because you're like trying to run through here. And if they touch you enough, like if you can't dodge enough of them, then, because you're going to get hit, but if you can't dodge enough of them, then you're going to die before you even get to the main ghost. So it's like super, I raged a little bit because it took me a while to make it to him in the first place. Then you get to him, and he appears, and you just have to basically run around and take fatal frames of this guy. And, and his health goes lower and lower. But keep in mind, if he touches you once, you're dead. It doesn't matter how much health you have. You could be full health. Doesn't matter. Touches you once, you're dead. Anyway. So, yeah, you can see how passionate I am about this.
And she'd forgotten all about this,
guys.
And
I did forget about that. Yeah. It got to a point. So I got him down where, like, one more fatal frame. One more would have killed him, and I would have gotten that second ending.
And everyone knows that
Didn't happen.
Boss fight thing. It's from any boss fight ever where you've got the boss with that much health left and then it kills you. It's just like, no.
Tiny amount. And I was done. I could not. And then I never got his health that low again. Like, no matter how hard I tried.
It's demoralizing.
I couldn't get it down. So I ended up putting it down. And I was like, you know what? I got one of the endings.
You done good,
I'm
kid.
good. And I watched the other ending on YouTube.
Defeats.
True story.
Oh, that's amazing.
Still a great game. Go find it. You can probably beat it.
Right? Awesome. Well, we are about to take a break, but if you happen to have any game range stories you wish to share with us, please go ahead and leave a comment or, send us an email at podcast@gameovervideogames.com. And we're going to take a break, get Britt some respiration here, maybe.
Some cough
drink
drops.
of water. And we'll be right back. See ya. Hey, Britt.
Yeah, Matt?
It's summertime, and you know what that means.
Oppressive humidity and noisy children out of school?
No, well, yes, but it also means that Classic Game Fest is right around the corner.
Ooh.
That's right. The biggest retro gaming convention in Texas is back with over 70,000 square feet of arcades, live music, artists, and of course, tons of classic games.
And me.
Well, yeah, Britt, that's right.
I'm going to be a special guest.
No,
Yep,
Britt.
special guest Brittany.
Britt, no, you're not a special guest. You're just one of the artists that's going to have a booth at the show.
That's what I said. A special guest artist.
That is not... Fine. Make sure you come see special guest artist Brittany, as well as all of our other equally special artists and vendors this year at Classic Game Fest, July 28th and 29th at the Palmer Event Center. Classic Game Fest. More games, more fun.
Can David put that on the program?
No! I can't believe you forgot both of those.
I know.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
You have the memory of a goldfish.
I really do.
Man, that's awesome. Welcome back to Game Overcast.
Hello.
And we are just about to begin our topic of the month, which
Yay.
is the
I was going to try to say something, but why bother?
story of my life.
Indeed.
We're going to go over some E3 stuff, games that have been announced, games that there might be talked about, what we know, what we don't know, what we hope we're going to see, stuff like that. I have it broken down into just non-system specific multi-platform stuff, and then specifically by system or by company or public, whatever. Screw it. Obviously, we can't cover everything. This is already a really big list, so if we did miss something that you want us to talk about, please let us know. I tried to be as thorough as possible with all the big stuff that I knew for sure was coming out. So first off, I just have a list of just alphabetically of all the multi-platform titles that are either confirmed or rumored or that we would like to see. We could just... Do you want to go?
Well, it looks like these are all confirmed, right?
Yeah, most of these are. There's a couple. I stuck in a couple like that. This one obviously is not confirmed, but for the love of God, please, stuff like that. So most of them are. Some of them aren't. We'll get there. Anyways, move along.
Okay, you go first because I don't know about this game.
Okay.
I mean, I have heard talks of it, but I have not looked into it myself personally.
We still don't know much about it. And that game, of course, is Anthem.
Is it for both consoles?
Yeah.
PS4 and
Yeah,
Xbox One?
Xbox is the one pushing it a lot, but it's multiplied. It's PC, PS4, Xbox One, everything. Anthem, BioWare, sci-fi looter shooter, where you have power.
Looter shooter.
Yeah, it's think Destiny, but you have power armor.
Yeah.
Yay! I mean, it's like you're in like Iron Man armor more or less on a sci-fi planet, shooting aliens and other bad robot things, collecting better guns. Sounds great. My concerns, of course, is that it's an EA game, which we'll get to. And then it's a BioWare game. And, so many years ago, that would have been the opposite. But now it's kind of like, can BioWare make a good game?
I think so.
Because Mass Effect Andromeda was, it wasn't a total train wreck, but it had lots of problems.
You know what I feel about that game? Look, here's the deal.
Yeah, bandwagon, blah, blah.
Bandwagon hate.
That game
That's
game had a ton of issues. I'm sorry, it just did.
But I don't think it was a terrible game.
It wasn't terrible,
and
but
I think it was
pretty
overshadowed by that bandwagon.
It had a lot of problems. It had a lot of problems that it shouldn't. It had like Bethesda level bugs that just shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, and people think Bethesda games are like gifts from God, which is fine.
A lot of people don't actually now. Like, there's a lot of people I talked to thought Fallout 4 was actually pretty crap. Like, you have the fanboys that will eat whatever Bethesda feeds them, but that's for anything.
And I feel like it doesn't matter if there's a huge glitch that doesn't allow you to progress forward. Like, people just
it does.
It surprises me because I feel like with Bethesda, people get over it. They're just like, oh, it's fine. Oh, that's their type.
No.
That's the way it works.
I don't.
But with this game, I felt like it was a little unfair.
Because you have stuff like Witcher 3 that proves that you can have a huge, epic, open world game with beautiful graphics, Bethesda looking at you, Fallout 4, and no game-breaking bugs. Like, it's possible with a smaller team and probably less of a budget.
Hey, do you remember was it Oblivion?
I don't know. What about it?
Where there was this mission.
Oh yeah, where I couldn't finish the Thieves Guild thing, so I killed him. Yeah.
It was. Was that the one with the vampire?
Well, the vampires were in all of them. Are you talking about the thing with Gray Fox?
I can't remember. I thought it was like you were becoming a vampire or something, and then you went to talk. You had to talk to this one dude, but the dude was glitched. So
no, that was the Thieves Guild one. That was.
Oh, okay.
I'd finished the Thieves Guild, and he was supposed to give you, and you were supposed to be Gray Fox, and you just sat there staring at me. And I got so mad, I murdered him and took it. But no, I mean,
really?
it's almost like
you couldn't go forward.
Well, it was the end of the quest line,
Sorry,
anyways.
that just made me.
I was
think
just
of that.
pissed. I was just super pissed about it. So I mean, yeah, it's just like I said, Andromeda wasn't that, but then Mass Effect 3 wasn't all that good either. So I mean, it's just like EA has a thing of latching on to studios and making them make games progressively worse and worse and worse. So I have high hopes for it, but I also have reservations that it's both EA and BioWare. Hopefully,
That's
BioWare
fair.
will come out on top and make an amazing game with great lore and great shooting, and because it looks like Destiny with robots, which is okay with me. But we'll see. So moving along with more EA stuff, and this big talk, Battlefield 5 V.
I think it's Battlefield 5.
They specifically said the V is based on Churchill's V for Victory thing.
Dang it!
Just the other day, so I'm not sure if it's. I mean, it might be 5.
I've been calling it
4.
Battlefield 5.
5 doesn't matter. New Battlefield game. World War II. I'm not going to talk about any of this stupid controversy with stupid people, because both sides in this case I think are really freaking dumb. But anyways, it's a video game. Get over it.
Here's my stance on that. It's a video game.
It's a video game.
It's made for fun, to have fun, for entertainment purposes. So who cares? Personally.
Yes, like I said, we'll move on from that because I think one side's like, well, legitimate complaint because you said this, and the other side's like, we didn't say that, we said, and it's so I don't want to talk. We don't need to go into it because it's just people being stupid.
I understand as a history buff, it's very cool to watch movies or play games that are historically accurate or kind of historically accurate. Jeez, that's hard to say. English, it's hard. But it's also fun to see like alternate
it's a video
history
game.
Stuff.
I think some people were pissy that Origin Desk was saying we're trying to make an authentic experience, and people saying this isn't authentic. And alternate histories are great. Like some of my favorite games ever. Like my favorite genres are alternate history with Wolfenstein or
cool.
You never played Crimson Skies, but Crimson Skies was an amazing PC Xbox game where it was kind of like alternate World War II with all these awesome planes and everything.
The Man in the High Castle. It's not a game, it's a show, but it's amazing.
But it's not. They're saying it's World War II, and people are like, well, it's not. And then people are going, that makes you sexist. And, obviously there's like crazy people that are actually being absolutely insane about it. But a lot of folks are like, no, it's just that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. But I also feel like if you want to play a character that's fantastic, whatever and is whatever, I feel like you should be able to do that because it's a video game.
Yeah. Me personally, I am not a fan at all of the artistic direction with the character designs. On one hand, I'm a huge fan of the character customization. Now you got me doing it. Character customization, where you can actually do lots of things to make your character unique. On the other hand, I really hate how that means everything's going to look like something out of Fortnite. with the blue face paint and the mohawks and 2 sets of goggles. Like, that's just freaking stupid. But I get it. Customization is good. If it's going to be that direction, it's okay. It's not the direction I'd like it to be. I don't think it's a big deal. No, I really don't. I don't care. I kind of wanted a bit more of a realistic, kind of serious thing to it, as opposed to, like, that's not... I mean, you're supposed to be camouflaged and your face is pink. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of like, well, yes, it's a video game, but kind of thing. But that's fine. I am actually quite optimistic, though, because they have... Mind you, they didn't show any of this in the really awful trailer. I think that was just a disaster. I thought the trailer was just bad. It was like a bad Michael Bay movie. But the actual, what they're adding to the game as far as the systems where you... where they're making it a lot more... actually less arcadey, where you actually have to grab ammo off the ground, where it used to be like health packs and ammo, you could just stand near them and you would sort of like suck up health and bullets.
I like that.
You actually have to everything in the game now has an animation and a system and a purpose where you actually have to pick up ammo either off the ground or from dead soldiers, and you actually have to take time to heal yourself. You don't just go, okay, I'm near the health pack, I'm better now. You actually have to stand on like, oh god, my arm is broken kind of thing.
Oh lord.
And everything has ragdolls now, so if someone gets down, they aren't always immediately dead, and they can be dragged away to be healed, because it takes a minute. So if, let's say you get blown up, I can drag you around the corner and, like...
heal you.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And any player can actually revive people. Medics can do it faster and better, but any player can, like, wake people up and bring them back.
That's really nifty.
So that's super cool. You can build... there's a super hardcore build, but you can build defenses... the engineer class can actually construct like anti-air guns and do sandbags and razor wire and all kinds of cool stuff to like add immersion to the game. That's fantastic. Even more fantastic is EA said there will be 0 loot boxes and 0 DLC. So everyone is going to be on the same playing field. They will not be dividing the market, because old Battlefield games used to have premium packs where if a new map came out and you didn't buy it, you could no longer play that with those people.
And the premium pass was like what, $50?
Ridiculous, yeah. My question here, of course, is what's the catch, EA? Because there's always
I don't think there's any
catch.
I don't think there's one. I mean, what else can you do? If you're not doing loot boxes, if you're not doing DLC, what else is there to do?
What I hope they're going to do...
I think that they're so terrified of what happened with Star Wars that they're just like, you know what, for this game, nothing.
Yeah, because EA, like any other business, is that they are a business. Unfortunately, EA, I think, is a really poor business where they have a reputation of taking studios like Visceral. Remember Visceral, the guys who made Dead Space? Yeah. Dead Space 1, fantastic. 2, fantastic. 3, it's an action co-op shooter. Huh? And for some reason, people didn't like that, so the studio gets shut down. And that's happened before with other studios, and people are afraid it's going to happen again. Like, I don't know how DICE and BioWare still exist and have just been eaten alive. But so
I think it's their names, honestly.
Yeah, they are really, really big names, and they can still make money off of that. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think the one way they can handle it properly is with all the customization. If they have a cash shop that exclusively sells cosmetic stuff, just like nothing but like a huge wardrobe of stuff. So if you want to have Skrillex hair, go for it, but it's $5. That would be great, and if that can support the thing, awesome. I've seen cases where it doesn't always do that. Guild Wars 2 looking at you. But if that's the case and there really isn't a catch, which I've been burned by EA way too many times to think there won't be a catch somewhere along the line. That's fantastic.
I don't think so. I think for once they can afford to take a loss. And it's not even a loss.
I don't think it's a loss, no.
It's not.
It's just not being greedy jerks.
They're just not.
Yeah.
It's just not going to have loot boxes or season pass.
But we'll
and
see.
That's fine.
We'll see in October. I mean, I don't think it has an official release date, but I'm assuming it's going to come out sometime around Call of Duty. Just because it always comes around the same time as Call of Duty. But whatever, moving right along, it's taking forever. Speaking of Call of Duty.
Black Ops.
I.
Also known as Black Ops 4.
Can we just talk about how that is just one of the like most silly logos in the world?
What? It's
the Black Ops.
Oh yeah.
Black Ops 4. Yeah.
Instead of being
the the people have come in here to Game Over and be like, hey, do you have Grand Theft Auto IV, bro? I'm like, what is it? Is it like a medical game? What are you talking about, Jimmy?
Yeah. It's mainly kids that do that.
It's horrible.
Grand Theft Auto IV.
So the first person that says this, I'm going to throw them in a box.
You know, that's a way. It really used to be written that way, though.
I just don't like it.
Before it was the IV.
When?
Or 4.
When was it written like that? No, you don't have to look it up. I just want to know when. Like how many hundreds of years ago was it written like that? A long time ago. So it's fine. You don't have to look it up. I want to know now.
Okay,
we'll look it up later.
But I do know it used to be written that way. So it's funny.
Yes, but people also used to sell their daughters to people. I mean, you know.
Wow.
A lot of things used to be that way.
But I am kind of curious why they didn't do the 4, like the action, like the way we write it now in a Roman numeral.
Because it looks cool.
I think they did it because
it looks cool.
Yeah, and then also like this is how many people I killed. I don't know. You like mark it on your gun. Remember it was like that for
I get it.
One of the Black Ops. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know.
I mean, the only reason I'm mentioning it's Call of Duty. Great. It's gonna have a battle royale mode. What do you think about that, Brittany?
I think that battle royale is where it's at. I think it is hot right now.
It's the current cool thing.
It's hip, and so that's they're maximizing
They're going to milk it while it's hot.
I think that's a smart business move.
Yes.
Because that's what's going on. That's what's popular. People like that.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't play Call of Duty for the campaigns. I mean,
which sucks because they were always really good.
You did. We played the campaigns, but I know plenty of people that told me like, oh, I never play. I just pop it in and go straight to multiplayer, and all I play is multiplayer. I've actually never touched the campaign. So I think it made sense for that to be the next evolution.
I'm not a big fan of Battle Royale. I think it's a huge overinflated thing where it's not really all that fun. But go on, sorry.
I mean, it can be fun.
It's fine. I just don't think it's that fun where we need a million Battle Royale games now. But whatever. Move on.
It's hot right now. But, man, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I do think it's cool that in the Battle Royale mode, you can use Call of Duty weapons from like the past 10 years of Call of Duty. I think that's awesome.
I wish Battlefield would do that. I would love a Battlefield where you had different generations and different maps and everything. That would be awesome.
I think that would be really awesome.
Are you going to play it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because you know my brothers.
Oh, that's right.
And they're always like, please, there's Call of Duty.
Yeah, but you've yet to do that, though.
I don't really. I think I played zombies with them like once. But they always ask me, so I might actually jump in on this one. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, next on the list.
I'll give it a shot. Please.
I just have written on here in all caps, Cyberpunk 2077. Please.
Yes.
So this is not confirmed for E3, but CD Projekt Red has confirmed
that they're going to talk about something.
They have an RPG to show. And if it is not this, there's something wrong with them. I'm really like
write them a very angry email.
In my fondest dreams, we've talked about this on so many shows, but we can move past really fast. But my fondest dreams here, they're going to announce, they're going to show it, and like, by the way, it comes out in like 2 months.
Oh man!
Because that's kind of what for Witcher. Witcher was they announced Witcher. They
Isn't English hard?
It is really hard right now. They announced it, and it was out in less than a year. As I recall. So that's what I like about it.
It doesn't even have to, like, if it's end of this year or beginning of
next,
as
long as it's within
2018,
long as, hell, show me, damn it, Brittany. As long as they show me anything, I'll be happy. But we're just, so Cyberpunk, make it happen. Finally.
That would be amazing.
Please,
I want that so bad.
So I can stop talking about it.
Jeez, like, we've been waiting for this game since the first trailer dropped, which was how long ago?
I think 4 or 5 years.
5 years ago.
So the game should be almost done at this rate, is what it sounds like.
I hope so.
So moving along, and this is also just rumored here, Devil May Cry?
I would be so down for this. So down.
Hideki Itsuno tweeted out, this was a couple months ago, that his next project is now, quote, under climax. Do you know what that means?
I have no idea what that means.
Do you know what that means?
But I really hope that means that it's
It sounds positive, though. It sounds like almost done.
Maybe.
So we're hoping that somewhere this will show up at E3. Hopefully it'll be a new Devil May Cry. That would be awesome.
That would be so cool. It's a really, and it would make sense because they've recently brought out the remaster for PS4.
Exactly. They're kind of
I think
the remaster of the remaster. Yes.
Those feelers.
Yep. The feelers. The little.
I loved it. I have a soft spot for Devil May Cry.
It's a great series.
I played that a lot.
It's got some crappy
when I was
camera
a
angles,
kid,
but it's a good series.
and with my brother, so I really like that a lot. I like that game.
Moving along, we have confirmed by Ubisoft, not Ubi. It's Ubi, right? Isn't it Ubisoft? Did we confirm that?
I don't know. I say Ubisoft.
I think it's Ubisoft.
But I have no idea, really.
I don't know. It's like Ubisoft. You know what I mean? But
Maybe.
I don't know. Whatever. Moving along. The Division 2. Confirmed that it's being shown, which is great. Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I mean, I think The Division was great. It came out and it was a festering mess.
You played that a lot.
Yes. They've definitely made it much, much, much better. Where it's once again a looter shooter set in New York after it's been ravaged by this evil virus with like cover systems and RPG style stuff. So it came out, it was definitely very limited, not a lot of content, but they progressively made it much, much, much better. And where it is right now, it's a very fun game with lots of content. It's a fantastic game. I'm really hoping that The Division 2 will not be like Destiny 2, where they spend a year trying to make it just as good as Destiny 1. Like they're at a point now in Destiny 2, and I keep going back to 2, but where they're trying to, guns used to drop with like random stats, like in Diablo 3, where you had different stats. Where if you had a really good roll, what?
Did you say Diablo?
Diablo. Diablo.
Diablo 3.
Whatever.
Well, I've never played that version.
Shut up.
I have played Diablo 3.
You know, where you get
kidding.
different rolls and stuff. So you might get a really cool weapon with a really cool roll, or a really cool weapon with an awful roll and it's trash. That's how Destiny 1 was. In Destiny 2, every version of a gun is the same. Guns don't have random rolls anymore. And people are like, well, that kind of ruins a lot of the replayability because it used to be hunting for that perfect gun or that perfect piece of armor or whatever.
Okay. Yes, but at the same time, how many of those people complained that they didn't get anything?
Well, you get RNG, but it's as a fact, it does.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
We're sleepy and hungry.
No kidding. Moving along. You complain about RNG a whole lot. But the fact is it did limit the diversity of builds. Just like the skill trees were kind of simplified where you either went one way or the other way and couldn't cherry pick stuff. And that's never good because it limits the type of play styles there are and the different things you can do with it. Regardless of whether there's one like OP play style, you can't do different things. It's never good, period.
I get it, but a lot of people complain like, oh, we're not getting enough good stuff whenever it drops. There's, they hated that it was.
People are going to complain regardless.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think it's so they're adding that back now finally.
A nice balance.
Yes, exactly.
I think is cool.
So a lot of the updates to Destiny 2 have been making it more like Destiny 1 again. I think that's really funny. They've spent nearly a year trying to make it more like the first one. So hopefully Division 2.
Which is crazy because I thought a lot of people weren't happy with the first Destiny. Like I thought they felt like it wasn't enough content, and
it wasn't. And then Taken King came out and it was amazing.
Okay.
Which I'm hoping that it's kind of sad, but I'm hoping that Destiny 2's equivalent of Taken King, which will be announced at E3, which I probably should have put on here, but it didn't, will hopefully magically fix things. I'm a little bit hesitant about it, but we'll see. Anyways, so hopefully Division 2 will take that in stride and come out strong and not have to take 6 months to fix itself. Because it's a fun game where it is now, and I've spent many hours on it. So good. Moving along, the game we know nothing about, Fallout 76.
Yay! I'm actually really excited about this. I really like the concept of Fallout.
Or as I like to call it, Fallout West Virginia. Have you seen the trailer yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I'm like humming that song. Like it's in my head now. But I love the Fallout soundtracks. I listen to them a lot. Like a lot of the songs, like the Set the World on Fire. I love that song.
I love how it started off with that and it transitioned.
Yeah.
By the way, did you notice that was really cool?
It's really cool.
So we know nothing about this, but there are rumors that it's going to be kind of like an Ark Survival Evolved or a Rust kind of survival with co-op, kind of like Conan Exiles kind of thing, which could be really, really cool. Yeah, exactly. A co-op kind of experience, which would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
But we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll see more about this at E3.
I really like that. God, there's like a specific word for it, like
post-apocalyptic?
No, it's not. Yes, it's post-apocalyptic, but there's like It's called retrofuturism.
Retrofuturism, yeah.
That's what it is, retrofuturism, and I love that style.
You
That's
mean
why
BioShock?
I've always been BioShock's my favorite. You guys know, but that's why I've always been interested. Fallout New Vegas really reminds me of Cherry 2000. I love that movie, which also
great
has
movie, by the way.
super
Since
fantastic.
Like 2 of you have seen it out there,
Go find it.
Yeah, look up Cherry 2000.
It's amazing, but Cherry 2000 kind of has that retro
super
futuristic
cheesy, but I mean,
thing.
Cherry 2000 was what, 70s, 80s?
It was the 80s.
80s, okay.
Yeah, but it's so good, but it's also like retro futuristic, really cheesy, funny, but it's really good. So if you kind of like that style, Fallout New Vegas really reminded me of that.
Well, anything Fallout, but New Vegas specifically because it had New Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we'll just have to see what happens. We don't really know, but I'm sure we'll see more. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
Go on.
I'm so ready for this. And this is what
Finally.
I think. Finally. This is my prediction. I think this is going to be one of Sony's big hoorah things. Yes. I think that at their E3 show conference thing, they're going to announce a release date, and I think it is going to be fall.
Well, Square has said the release date is coming.
Please.
And is coming soon, this summer.
We've waited long enough.
They haven't said E3 for sure, but what would be a better place than E3?
I think really. So. And if they want to make an impact, have a bang, go out with a bang or whatever, then I think that they would, announcing a release date would be smart.
And the new
I
gameplay,
think a lot.
have you seen the new gameplay for it yet with Toy Story World? It looks really good.
I love Toy Story.
And then Wreck-It Ralph and everything. So it looks fantastic.
I wish you could see my shoes.
She has the little
the little Toy Story aliens.
Boy.
I have the Toy Story vans.
So looking good, but we'll have to see.
I'm so ready for that, please. But I really believe fall, and they will announce the release date at E3.
I would like
That's
to see
what I
that.
think.
I'm once again going to be the pessimist and saying they're going to announce it and then delay it to 2019.
No.
Just like Final Fantasy 15. It's going to come out in November. Give us just a few more months.
I hope not.
You've waited a decade. What's a few more months?
Over a decade.
Oh my, no kidding. So moving right along here, way out of left field here.
Yeah.
Rage 2.
It's random. I've never played Rage, so I don't know.
I played a little bit of Rage, and all I remember is that specifically on my PC and a lot of other people's PCs, it was a train wreck.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
I remember you playing Rage and not liking it very much.
The game was okay. It just didn't work. It was just a buggy disaster.
I don't know. I've never played it.
So, cool post-apocalyptic, more brown stuff. And it also looks like they're trying really obvious to make this game. And I forgot to list this crap. The possibility of seeing a Borderlands 3 is also way up there right now.
Oh, man,
this
that would
looks
be
like
really
they're
cool.
trying really hard to steal some of that thunder. This new trailer looked nothing like the old Rage, where it's like, oh, cool, Borderlands, got it, check. But we'll see. If it's a good game, I'll play it. The first Rage was, but it could always be good. That happened. What was it? Far Cry. Far Cry was a series that until it kind of became the same thing. Far Cry 1 was good, 2 was pretty bad, and then 3 was fantastic. And then it became kind of the same of that. So we'll see. It might be great. Last one on here before we start breaking into individual things is Skull and Bones, Ubisoft's pirate game.
I have not looked into this even a little bit.
From what I've seen, you never get off your boat.
What?
It's like a multiplayer pirate game, but you control you're the boat. You're not actually on the boat. You control. Does that make sense? You control the boat.
That just sounded funny. You're the boat.
It feels kind of like Twisted Metal on the ocean, which is cool.
Ooh.
But it doesn't sound super amazing.
That sounds kind of fun.
But it sounds neat though.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. I haven't been able to see a whole lot of specifics about it as far as it's a naval combat game with pirates. I'm sure we'll see something about that this year. Ubisoft has its own press thing, so I'm sure we'll see that.
Yeah.
So moving along into PlayStation country here, we're talking a little bit of Sony.
PlayStation.
Exclusives, at least that we know of exclusives. Confirmed to be at E3, Death Stranding.
They said it was going to be at E3 for sure?
For sure.
Yes.
That's one of the big four.
Yes.
The big four of Sony's thing is going to be Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and Spider-Man. So you're going to see a lot of it.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Man, I am so ready for Death Stranding. Please.
I'm so ready to figure out what the hell it is.
So cool. And I've like all these theories are forming in my mind from the last trailer. The last trailer had me reeling. I am so ready. It looks so
bizarre.
Awesome.
But I mean, it's Kojima, so
rad.
chances are, I mean, I don't like Metal Gear very much, but not because it's a bad game. I just don't like stealth. But
it's probably going to be like this crazy cerebral Chris Angel mind freak.
But I mean, Kojima's, in my opinion, has never really made a bad game. So I don't think he's going to start now. So that looks fantastic.
I'm excited.
I'm very much looking forward to just figuring out exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And seeing some gameplay. And
I want to know if any of my ideas, like, ooh, I think this could be this. I want to know if any of that is accurate.
We will see. It'll be soon.
Yeah.
So moving on, we have not Quantic Dream. Hello. Just Dreams. Just Dreams.
Yeah.
Not Quantic Dream. Sorry. Little Big Planet on digital steroids. Pretty much.
It's the same. Who was that?
Yeah, Media Molecule.
Media Molecule, that's right.
Yeah, this is what they've been working on since Little Big Planet 2. No, after Tearaway. That's right. After Tearaway they did this.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about Tearaway.
Looks beautiful.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm not sure how well it's going to do.
I think it's going to do really well because a lot of people thought that about Little Big Planet.
True.
Very true. A lot of people thought that one wasn't going to take off, and it was a fantastic game, and it sold a bunch.
I am a bit concerned just because this is a great deal more involved, with like the sculpting tools and just everything. It looks super amazing.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to mess with that at all. Like just because I'm not an artist, I don't have patience for it. You'll probably love the heck out of it, I'm willing to guess, but just because you can really build things from scratch. But I'll play all the user-rated content. I played Little Big Planet for years doing that. So.
Oh my gosh. And what's awesome about Little Big Planet is like even when you're done with the game, you can play other people's levels, and some of those levels are so good.
Yeah, Ninja Warrior for hours.
Yes. So fun. So it feels like that game is almost never ending. So if they do that with Dreams, that's genius.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be awesome. Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay, so I had no idea what this was until I read this and you told me about it,
and
I think that sounds really, really cool. Yes, absolutely.
Ghost of Tsushima, if you don't know, is a game by Sucker Punch, so the guys who made Infamous, and is an open-world samurai game. Take my money.
I'm sold.
I mean, you're that's great. I mean, we don't really know much else about that.
I'm going to listen to the soundtrack for Samurai Champloo while I'm playing.
Different kind of samurai, but works.
I know.
Just a great soundtrack. Oh my god.
So great. Such a great anime.
Oh yeah. So it looks cool. I think all we've seen is like one cinematic trailer for it, but this is also one of the big four at E3 for them. So we should see quite a bit of it. Hopefully have a release date. Hopefully be this year. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't think so because it just been announced.
Sucker Punch has a really great reputation.
Yeah.
And Infamous is a fantastic game. So yeah, I think that sounds really cool.
So it should be awesome. But well, I mean, once again, a lot of these things are things we know very little bit about. Just like this next one on here, The Last of Us 2. My guess is it's going to be a prettier Last of Us 1. And that's kind of it. And that's kind of all it needs to be. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it just because the first Last of Us made me cry. And I'm not sure if I'm going to only play Last of Us when you're in a good mood. Like if you're in a bad mood, it's only going to make it worse. Because it's a fantastic game. It's a survival horror, stealthy thing. Amazing characters, super great story, great music. It's just like that game leaves you feeling hollow at the end. And not because it's bad, just because it's not a happy game. So I'm pretty sure this one is also not going to be a happy game.
I feel like because the ending is kind of like damned if you do and damned if you don't. So, but
I really hope Naughty Dog makes a happy game after this. This is great, but just like, man, this isn't the kind of thing you play over and over again because it's like, wow, I hate my life and all of humanity. Darn. But that's going to be great. Spider-Man.
Yes!
Happiness! Spider-Man.
I'm waiting for this one, like really waiting for this one.
Another of my favorite studios, Insomniac, is making this.
They also have a fantastic reputation.
Yes. I mean, I just think of this, I'm like, these are the guys who made Sunset Overdrive. And if I'm not mistaken, Sly Cooper also. This is going to be amazing. It has to be amazing because it's, it's just like, please. And I actually really hate Spider-Man as a character. I think he's a brat.
I think he's cute.
But the games are amazing. So if they could just make a game just like the 90s cartoon, I'd be super happy. Did you ever watch the 90s cartoon? Did you do anything but read books as a child?
I mean, I did.
Oh, did you watch X-Men? Okay, cool.
I watched X-Men all the time. I watched the Batman animated series.
But you watched
Power
Spider-Man,
Rangers.
though?
I watched Power Rangers all the time.
Dude.
And then I read and listened to music.
I can't believe you.
And movies. Horror movies.
So hopefully that'll be fantastic. I'm gonna move along because we're at over an hour right now.
Okay.
And the painkillers are wearing off.
Oh no.
So more rumors. So Days Gone is going to show up. Days Gone's the kind of game that just...
I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm just kind of...
I actually wasn't... When I heard about this game, I wasn't that excited for it because I was like, it's as much as I love zombies. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a huge horror fan. I love George Romero, Night of the Living Dead. I love that movie. So I love zombies. It's zombies, right?
Yes, it's zombies.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, am I thinking of the right one?
No, Brittany, it's not.
No. I'm thinking of the right one.
It's a bunch of robotic badgers.
I would play that. Anyway, so I remember thinking like, you know, as much as zombies are really, really cool, the zombie thing is kind of
a lot of zombies.
There's a lot of zombies. But then I saw the trailer and I was like, okay.
I mean, it does look very impressive, which is the number of zombies. It's a funny story.
Was there like a zombie bear? Am I making that up?
Yes, I was going to mention that. So I was in California for E3 last year. Not actually at E3, just visiting my parents. And I was watching this trailer. And Mom was like, my mom loves bears. She's like, it's a bear. Yeah, you better not kill that bear, Matthew. I'm like, okay, Mom. I'm sorry. So yeah, there's like big zombie bears and stuff, and it's just hilarious. But so it looks good.
I thought it looked really cool. Like the human interaction looked really awesome, and like the stories surrounding like the humans.
Yeah, I feel like they've done a kind of poor job showing that, and then every trailer's been like, look at all the zombies.
Because I felt like that trailer, that's what sold me.
The last one you saw, but before that it was just like, look at all the millions of zombies on screen. I was like, that's cool and all, but
because it felt like it was so much deeper, you know, than just a basic zombie game.
Yeah,
there was so much more to it, and that's really what sold me.
So it looks good. Like I said, it's not super high on my list, but it might be fantastic.
I think it's going to be great.
We're going to see more of that, though. That's going to be great.
I think that's going to be like right alongside in the same vein of The Last of Us.
That's where they're pushing it to be. Yeah, a lot more or less depressing, I should say, which is going to be great. So it'd be nice if we could see something for the Final Fantasy VII remake.
There's no way.
It's having some trouble development.
Maybe.
I don't know how much you heard about it, but they originally had farmed it out to was it CyberConnect 2, I think it was, another developer, and apparently they did just a very poor job. So Square had to more or less scrap all of their work and start over.
But that's what they're telling you.
That's what they're telling us. It's probably what's actually going to happen. So we might see it sometime in like 2021 or something like that. But I mean, if they could maybe show us like a picture of Cloud going like, yeah, you know, that would be nice. But we'll see.
This is my conspiracy theory.
It's actually almost done.
My conspiracy theory is that they said that they were going to remake it to appease everybody, so everybody would get off their backs, and then they're just not going to do it.
Just hope we forget.
I'm kidding. That's horrible.
You might be right. The last thing I have on here from Microsoft, and this is just something I'd personally like to see, is I just kind of tacked on, is like something from software. That's what I say, Microsoft.
You said Microsoft.
Sorry. It's next on. I'm reading.
I'm like, what? We're on Microsoft?
Yes! Something from software. So I'd love to see a Bloodborne 2 or some other Souls-ish game. I know they've confirmed they're working on, I think, 3 games right now.
Wow.
One of them's an old franchise. Actually, they confirmed they're working on an Armored Core. So I'd like to see Armored Core.
Pretty cool.
You know, they showed some, I think it was at PlayStation Experience, that little random video didn't say what it was. People think it's Bloodborne 2 or something like that. So that would be cool.
That would be smart, considering they just did, or the Dark Souls remaster just came out. Yep. That's been doing pretty well.
And people found in a demo of the cathedral from Bloodborne in it also. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they made it playable in GTA. So someone's like driving a car up the stairs. So it sounds like something's going on with that. So that would be cool. I'd take a Bloodborne 2. We'll see. So moving on to the short list, and that's Microsoft. And I try to be this is an unbiased show, we call it as I see it. I'm going to call it as I see it. Microsoft ain't got jack. I mean, Microsoft has been suffering a lot. Like the Xbox One X came out with literally no games. Like, you know, it was supposed to come out with Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 still isn't out yet. It was supposed to come out with the Microsoft Super Duper Graphics Pack. That still hasn't come out yet. This was a year ago. So the only confirmed title for E3 for Microsoft is a game called Ooblets. Which, Ooblets, if I'm sure you don't know what it is, it's published by Double Fine, and it looks like a mix between Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley kind of game, and Pokemon.
Ooh.
Where you have a farm, and you grow crops, and they turn into cute little monsters who follow you around. It looks absolutely adorable.
Hell That sounds really cute. I'd play that.
That's all they have confirmed for E3.
Ooblets. That's just fun to say.
Ooblets, yes.
Ooblets.
I mean, one could assume we're going to see Crackdown 3. So let's talk Crackdown 3 for a second.
Probably.
This poor game.
Probably.
Was supposed to come out originally last November, was delayed, was supposed to come out this March, was delayed indefinitely. We haven't heard diddly from them since. My hope is, though, that's good, because hopefully they're going to make it look less disappointing. Because we saw Crackdown 3 a couple years ago, and they were highlighting how amazing this cloud-powered destruction system was, blow up the whole city. And then we saw it last year, and like, yeah, great destruction, only in multiplayer. In single player, you can still blow up barrels and cars and stuff and all this other things, but everything else is only available in multiplayer, and that's it. And at least myself, I was kind of disappointed in that. Like, really? Oh, okay, thanks. That's kind of crap. I'm hoping maybe they specifically delayed the game to make it less crap. maybe to just put more Terry Crews in it. We don't know. Because I'd be like, oh! But I'm sure we'll see it at E3. Like, it's not confirmed, but I mean, the game's supposed to be out a year ago. We're probably going to see it. And then, other things on here I can guess at. Like, we're probably going to see something for the new Ori Will-O-Wisps. It's such a beautiful game that you refuse to play.
I can't. That game is the art style is completely me. It's like right up my alley.
So beautiful.
It's too sad I can't touch it. It's
so
the same
precious.
reason why I can't play Ni no Kuni. I can't do it. It's too sad. I will cry through the whole game. I just can't. I can't.
So I'm sure we'll see that. Possibility of a new Halo. I know nothing about this. I just put it on there because I'm thinking like, well, what can Microsoft show us? Well, what do they have?
You know what I wish they would do? Another Fable.
There is actually. I didn't put it on here, but there were
Really?
there are rumors of another Fable.
How dare you not put that on there?
I just remembered it right now.
How dare you?
I'm sorry.
You know I love Fable.
It's a big list.
That would be so
That
cool,
would be
though.
great to have another
Fable.
That wasn't
It's been
crap
too long.
like 3 was. Because 3 was terrible.
We had fun with 3.
We had fun with 3, and then you couldn't beat 3 because you fell through the floor and it auto-saved, so you just lost your save file. So yeah, 3 was great until it was broken. And then there are rumors of another Gears of War. And I'm sorry, but does anyone else think the series is getting just as old and tired as Marcus was in Gears 4? Where I really believe that games like Halo and Gears either need to be completely reinvented or radically changed up. Like, I think Assassin's Creed does a really good job, or has recently anyways did a good job, of changing its formula, where 1 was okay, 2 was fantastic, and then Revelations came out, it was kind of more of the same, where it was good, but it was more of the same, and then the one where, I forget the one where you were in America, that was also kind of more of the same.
3.
Was that, officially 3? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That was 3. And then
With Connor?
Yeah, and then Black Flag came out, and Black Flag gave you the pirate stuff, and Black Flag was
Yeah.
awesome and kind of changed the formula, and that was awesome. And then Unity came out, and it was a disaster, but we'll forget about that one.
Which is such a shame, because
Yeah,
like the
with
French
co-op
Revolution,
and everything.
really
It
cool.
was super cool. But then Origins was fantastic.
But it was Syndicate,
and
man.
added a bunch. Oh yeah, Syndicate.
Jack the Ripper, come on now.
Yeah, but that was also kind of more of the
Sorry,
same.
I wanted to play that.
But
I think
they
there's, like,
do a
one
good job of changing the formula and not
mission.
making it kind of literally the same game.
Yeah.
Gears has been the same game since Gears 1.
I think sorry, I didn't mean to,
No, it's fine.
branch off. But I think something that's really cool about Assassin's Creed and what can keep it going is like being put in these different historical situations or like time periods is really cool. That's not going to get old.
Yeah.
Like being put in Egypt is really cool,
Yeah.
or being put in London like during Jack the Ripper time is really cool.
I still want
you know?
a Cyberpunk Assassin's Creed, please.
Dude.
I just like Cyberpunk.
That or like give me like a speakeasy.
Yeah,
type of-
like a 20s.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like
also.
that would be rad. And then also like I know that they did like a DLC.
Yeah.
Like that
It's
took
like a
place in
straight
China.
up samurai
But
Assassin's Creed.
or like a Japanese
Yeah.
samurai type. That would be
It's
really
kind
cool.
of begging for that, isn't it?
Yes.
Being that like
That'd be
ninjas
awesome.
are assassins anyways, but
Yeah.
I mean that's not really Japanese. Whatever. Moving on.
Well, samurai are Japanese.
Yeah. So I really think that it's like in games like Halo where when the developer of the game, Bungie, says we don't want to make this game anymore, you should maybe stop making the game. Maybe you should move on to something else. So I mean, I think they can still do a good Gears game, but it needs to be a complete overhaul.
Maybe like a new character, like new characters, new story.
Not even new characters. I mean, a new gameplay, new systems. Because this last game had new characters, and like Marcus was just there as like the grizzled old dad. But I mean, like it was the same game with the chest high walls.
Oh yeah, because it was like his son.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's the deal though. Halo, yes, we had some good times playing Halo. Gravity hammers, just saying.
Great times playing Halo.
Super fun.
But it seems like every new release.
Please, if you make another Halo, put the co-op back into it.
Yeah, stop removing features.
Yes, and like Halo has always been co-op, right?
Well, I don't think not the first one. I think it was actually 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought 2 was co-op as well.
I've never actually played 2.
I may be making that up in my mind, but
I've never had an Xbox, so I didn't play 2. I played 1 on my computer, but it's
co-op back.
Like let's bring up Death Stranding for a second. Kojima. Sony was a genius picking up Kojima.
Yes.
Because Kojima wanted to stop making Metal Gear games, and Konami said, "No, you'll make Metal Gear until you die." And Kojima said, "Piss off." I mean, I don't think that's ever been confirmed, but that's kind of what it feels like.
I mean, him drinking out of a cup that said Konami Tears.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure there was something there.
I mean, it is
amazing.
Fact that Death Stranding could be the biggest heap of trash in the universe. And it would, I mean, we don't know. I'm sure it's going to be great, but it could be absolute garbage, and it will still make Sony a fortune.
Of course.
And Kojima fanboys will be preaching about how you just don't understand its greatness.
Don't pretend. No one understood what that the very first trailer that came out.
No one understood the second trailer.
Nobody understood that trailer, and it got a standing ovation.
Yeah. Like there were whales and people in the sky, and naked Norma Reed's crying.
And a baby.
Yeah.
Like a naked baby.
It's just proof that if you have developers, give them creative freedom, they'll make good stuff and they'll make you money, and you don't have to wring these franchises dry until they turn to dust.
Definitely.
And that's where I feel that Microsoft is with some of their franchises, where they don't have that many things, they aren't bringing in new IPs, they canceled freaking Scalebound, which is kind of sad.
But these games will sell. Halo and Gears.
I feel like they're selling like less and less. Like I don't think Guardians did that well, did it? Like it made money, but it wasn't like a huge thing like Halo 3 or 4.
Fairly well.
It did okay. Like I know the player base dropped like a rock though. Also, it's
I don't think it was Halo 3.
No.
Like the way Halo what Halo 3 did.
I think it'd be cool if they reinvented these games. Like you can if you insist on making them fine, but do something different. Yeah. You need to do something. You need to refresh. And I also have on here, because it's Microsoft, I will bet $1 million you'll see either a Forza or some kind of racing game on here. For sure, because it's Microsoft and we have to have our car games. Just calling it now. All right, moving along to Nintendo. I'm going to wrap us up here. So let me go on record by saying I was pleasantly surprised and so happy for Nintendo, because last year was amazing for the Switch. This year is like they forgot. And they're like, wait a minute.
You don't know that yet. I'm just saying.
I'm saying so far, this year's been like, here's a port. Here's another port.
I'm okay with this.
Here's Hyrule Warriors, which is literally a port of a port. God!
I'm just saying I'm okay with all of the games that they're porting onto the Switch, because not everybody had a Wii U.
As long as but as long as they give us other games. And they haven't. They gave us a really crappy Kirby game. And it wasn't that good. I'm sorry.
That Kirby game was fun.
No, it was okay. It was way too easy, and the forced multiplayer thing made the game a pain in the butt to play by yourself. I'm sorry. And then it didn't even have online. You had to play it like it was only local co-op. Like, dude,
that's cool.
It's cool.
There aren't enough games, in my opinion, that are local co-op anymore.
Options, though.
I get it, but like, I
Not
like
everyone
that.
has 4 people to play with at their house. Like, it's cool that it's there, and it should be there.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't only be there. But I mean, that's kind of like am I missing anything? What else came out this year for the Switch from Nintendo? Anything?
I know there's been some smaller titles.
Yeah, but those were all, that's like third party stuff. There's been a couple other good Switch, like, was it last year? When did Axiom Verge come out? Was it this year or last year?
That was last year.
But that's still a port anyways. But well, whatever. So all I'm saying is they've really, really got to come out swinging.
Okay, but here's the deal.
What?
I'm just saying. A little birdie told me that GameStop has 14 available SKUs in their system.
And I bet you
for Nintendo.
I'll bet you like.
And I am
just
desperate.
For Nintendo or for Switch?
For Switch.
Okay.
For Switch. And I am desperate to find out what those are.
I'll bet you 8 of those are going to be Joy-Cons.
So, no.
Yep.
Don't say that. And so I want to say, I don't know specifically, but I'm guessing that the new games that they've just announced, the 2 Pokemon games, that's probably
We'll talk about that.
That probably takes up 2 of those slots.
You're right.
But what about the other 12?
I'm sure we'll see Smash, but we'll see.
Smash is already on there. This is like
really?
separate from Smash. So I think that they're going to have a big E3.
That would be glorious.
Because like there's no way, like there's something there. Based on what I have been told, like there is something there.
Well, let's talk about it. So confirmed, we know that Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, which is a very long name, is coming out. I think that's cool. I've got to say, it's going to be hard to go back to that after Monster Hunter World, because Generations is an older game. It's a port of a 3DS game. What?
Poog.
Poog? What?
Your little Poog.
Oh, Poog! Oh, yes, little piggy.
So cute.
But it's cool that we have another portable Monster Hunter coming out. Not super stoked about it, but it's there. So I have this on.
Oh my God.
I have this on here every year.
You just want to let this die.
I will not let it die. I would, once again, Nintendo, I tell you this every year. I really love an F-Zero game, please. This July, actually, perfect timing, will be 15 years since the last one came out.
They're going to wait till 20th
Shut
anniversary.
Up. Shut
and
up.
It's going to be a
I hate you. Shut up. No.
20th anniversary, and it's going to be like, you can download it.
Whatever. So that would be great. Moving along. Hey, Britt. Do you remember when they announced a Fire Emblem game?
Nope.
And then apparently neither did they, because we've yet to see anything about it. So I'm kind of hoping we'll see something on the Fire Emblem game.
I'm not kidding though. I think vaguely I remember this.
Yeah, well, no, they did the Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct. Like we got a Fire Emblem coming for the Switch, and that was a year ago.
Yeah.
And we've yet to see anything about it since. So hopefully Fire Emblem. This is going to be kind of short because I don't have anything to talk about here. Metroid Prime 4. We know it's coming.
Yeah, because they said that for sure already, right?
Well, yeah, they announced it already that it is coming. We just don't know anything about it at all. Yeah. So maybe once again more info on Metroid Prime 4.
More info.
Octopath Traveler
I
comes
am
out in
waiting
July.
for this.
So we probably won't see much of it here, but they're going to mention it. This game looks so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an old school Square RPG. It's so beautiful.
And it has like little sprites.
Yes, but with
very
3D,
traditional Final Fantasy.
Glorious looking game.
Yeah.
Super
amazing.
stoked for this. I'm just really excited. Pokemon Let's Go looks like garbage. Moving on.
No! What?
Sorry.
Come on! Okay, so it is Pokemon for filthy casuals, and that's fine. I'm going to play it.
It is not.
Just
okay.
saying.
All right, so let me say I understand why it's being done, because it is made for the casual Pokemon Go audience.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed because my favorite part of Pokemon games isn't battling trainers. It's going out and hunting for Pokemon. And then the excitement in the battle. And all of that's gone.
But that's you. And also, you can still battle trainers.
Yes.
It is still traditional Pokemon
I just said
battling.
I didn't like that part, though. Like, that's okay.
I know.
I like and like Pokemon.
But see, that's what sold me. At first, I was like, I'm not. I love Pokemon. You know that. I play the trading card game. I play the games. Whatever. But I looked at that and I was like, I'm not gonna get it. I played Pokemon Go for like 2 weeks and I was like, okay, this is. I can't do this.
It's kind of boring.
It got a little boring. But it looks so cute.
But also,
and
just
Kanto.
Just let it be said that you can literally play that in any other Pokemon game. There's nothing new in this one. Like, I don't know. It really drives me nuts that Pokemon was never a hard game.
No,
I don't feel like
really.
it needed to be simplified any more than that. Like, I mean, the Pokemon are just walking around.
I just think it's cool, though, if you want, like, a different environment. Like, that's fine. They did different environments with the mystery dungeons.
Yeah.
And you wanted to play a Pokemon, and that was kind of cool.
I just feel like...
be the Pokemon, and you did, like, little errands for the Pokemon. Yeah. That was awesome.
I've actually had this argument with a guy where he's like, well, obviously there's more than one team working on Pokemon games. I'm like, that's true, but I can't help but think that maybe we should have gotten the core Pokemon game first, and if maybe they would have not devoted all the resources to this and more so to the core Pokemon game, we could have gotten that first, which would have made a lot more people happy, and then go ahead and release this game.
I would love a core Pokemon game first. Absolutely.
But you'll get that a year and a half from now.
But I will get that too, so I'm happy. It's not... it sucks that it's going to be much later, but I'm happy that it's coming, and I am going to get it.
It's just depressing.
This one is, I mean, it's no different from other Pokemon spinoffs like Pokemon Snap.
I agree.
Or, it's just like you get to be in the world of Pokemon. They're cute. It's cute. Pikachu is cute.
It feels lazy. It feels lazy because other Pokemon spinoffs are actually different. This is just a dumbed down
And I am
Pokemon.
so sorry, but I want that Pokeball controller.
It's ridiculous. Do you see what I mean, though? Like Mystery Dungeon, different kind of game.
I get it, yeah.
This dumbed down Pokemon.
Is also a different type of game.
It's Pokemon with less stuff in it, I feel like. Because it's the same kind of game where you run around, you talk to Professor Oak, you battle Pokemon, you just don't have to worry about catching them because you just throw your stupid little ball at them and do nothing.
I mean, I feel like you have to wait until there's more details on the game. I'm sure there's more you can do.
That is true. I just feel like, Ellen, you can link it to Pokemon
but
Go.
I'm okay with being like immersed in a Pokemon world. And it not focusing solely on battle. Like, I love the battling, yes. But if I could do other things with Pokemon...
I don't think you're going to be doing much more, though.
That would be kind of cool. That's what I'm hopeful for. Like, I don't know if they've said that. I haven't really looked into it that much. I just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
Like the announcement trailer. Yeah. That was it. I didn't read about it. I didn't look at... I don't know if they've shown it anymore.
I'm sure we'll see more at E3, though.
But being immersed, like, that's something that I loved about Mystery Dungeon. I loved being a Pokemon, and I loved... Like, you could run like everyday errands for these Pokemon and do like stuff kind of like
This to me it just looks like standard Pokemon with features removed. Hopefully I'm wrong, but it just looks like your standard Pokemon game with less. It looks like Pokemon the Play School edition. Like it's too tough for babies, so we have to remove the wild Pokemon. I
just hope that I'm willing to play it anyway and to take a little bit of a loss, like that's fine. Like if they take a little bit away, as long as they give a little. So if there's like other things that I could do, like other features with the Pokemon, then that would be enough to weigh it out, like to balance it out for me. Do I prefer traditional Pokemon? Yes, of course. But I will definitely play this too.
Cool.
Because you feel like there's enough room in my heart for both games.
I'm definitely skipping it. This is coming from someone who skips a couple Pokemon generations anyways.
Yeah.
It's just like I have
I understand.
no desire to play a simplified Pokemon game. I'll just have to wait. Which sucks because I was looking forward to actually playing a legit Pokemon game. And it's like, well, cool. I guess I'm going to wait another year.
We'll see what's in it. And we'll also see...
It doesn't have what I like, so I know I'm not going to play it. So it's like they've already removed the part I like the most about it. So no matter what they add, if they add like a pet Pikachu function, I don't care about that. It might be really cool and I can see why it's popular. It's not for me.
I understand. Yeah, that's fair.
Let's knock this out of here with look at the last game on here. What a coincidence. So Smash Brothers is coming out. Allegedly this year. I still don't think that's actually going to happen.
I think it is this year.
So is it confirmed not a port yet? For sure.
I have no idea.
Do we even know? And
I don't know.
That still creeps me out.
I haven't looked into it whatsoever.
I get the feeling it's going to be a new game. I'm losing my voice.
Too.
I think we need to stop here in a minute. But if it's not, though, can you imagine how pissed off people are going to be? They just come out and say it?
This is all I know. Like, I haven't really put that much into investigating this, but I have heard, and from the little bit that I've seen, there are strong rumors that it is not a port.
Well, people are saying because of the copyrights and whatever that certain studios that worked on Smash for the Wii U aren't there, so it shouldn't be.
Okay.
So that's great.
Okay.
I'm excited about that. I am very thrilled to see what they'll have for it because so far we know little to nothing.
If Nintendo was smart, they have had this planned and they have been working on it for a really long time. So it will have a release date of this year.
That would be fantastic.
And yeah, I that's a way for them to
If it comes out this year, I'm calling it now. It comes out with it's launching with their online service. Same day.
That'd be cool.
Because that was the kind of thing where it's like, well, what are you going to pay for their online for? Oh, Smash, cool, sold. Get me in there. But we'll just have to see.
You know what I bet they're going to talk about? Maybe,
what?
maybe not, maybe not. So did you hear that there's going to be a new 2DS? Like the Zelda
one, yeah.
And I want it. I'm going to get it. I'm just saying. Sorry.
But I've already said before, the DS as a whole needs to go away.
I have to have it. I'm so glad I really wanted that Pikachu one, but I am so glad I waited because I really want that style 2DS. The flippy one. The flippy one. And it's like a nicer style, I think.
I think it's going to 2DS games are drying up now at this point. I think it's about Why would you buy another one? They're kind of done.
I would to take place of the one that I have, and then I have like all the Zelda systems.
Works.
So sorry.
It occurred to me when I was writing this outline. I have not plugged my Switch into the TV in a very long time. Like for example, I've never played Mario Odyssey on my television. I played Xenoblade Chronicles. In the 200 plus hours I played that game, I played it on a TV for like 30 minutes. I think the only game I played mostly on the TV was Zelda. After that, like my Switch is officially a handheld now. Like I don't even know where my docks are.
Yeah. Also, Luigi's Mansion. Like I'm definitely getting that.
Which should be on the Switch.
It should be, but I'm gonna get it. And then Captain Toad. I'm probably gonna get that.
Oh, screw that crap.
Probably gonna get Captain Toad.
All right.
But it's a Zelda system. I have to have it.
Anything else, madam, before we wrap this up?
Nope, that's it.
Cool. We're gonna get out of here then.
Yes.
Get some food. Take some more painkillers, in my case, anyways. Thank you for listening. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, games that we missed here that you want to talk about, please let us know at what's the email address, Brittany?
It is. Dang it.
Podcast at gameovervideogames.com.
Podcast at gameovervideogames.com.
I know I'm surprised. You forget literally everything.
It's hard to say Game Over Video Games really fast, together.
It's really
hard.
Gameovervideogames.com.
Yay.
Yay. Thanks for watching, listening. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye.